Hey everyone, welcome back. Been a few days since we done a video. Thought we better get back onto it. So a bit of a warm up coffee ride, as it says on the stream. So thought we'd do a short warm up and then pick out something to have a go at. A bit difficult actually. I'm back on, as I said, I've been on isometric rings for a bit. I've done that review on them about how you don't really see the inflation after a while when you get used to it, and if you work on your pedaling and everything. But being back on round rings, just for the quiet drivetrain, and getting back to see family shortly, and I want to do lots of riding there, and there's a lot of climbing, so we'll be in the little ring for a fair bit. And although it's meant to be most beneficial, isometrics, I just don't like the little ring, the noise and the chain rub that I get. So I'm back on round rings, but it's certainly there's an adaptation there because I can't put out the same watts, and not talking inflation whatsoever, but I just can't put out the same watts inside until my legs. There's I think at least every bit, 2 weeks to a month, of going back over. And outside, I've just done some riding around the block here because obviously can't go too far and do training outside because of the restrictions. But outside, when the bike's got free to move, it seems to be a lot closer, the wattage, just on a few little stints up certain streets that I've done here. But inside, when the bike's rock solid, I just don't think I can put out the same kind of watts. And that's no inflation, just the movement. I don't know. Anyway, definitely a fan of the rings, but only for sustained efforts. But anyway, on to our warm-up coffee ride topic. I was thinking, what can I talk about? So, my favourite YouTubers, seeing as this is pretty much what I'm doing. I suppose there's a few really good ones there that do the dream builds. One friend of mine in Melbourne, the Drop Cycling, he does some beautiful dream builds. I catch up with him as often as I can, so he's certainly one to like his page and watch some of the dream builds that he's done. It's really, really great watching them. I think it's G Milner, G-E-E, Milner does another lot of dream builds as well. You only have to put in dream builds on YouTube and you'll see what I mean, but there's nothing like seeing some of the best bikes in the world put together if you're a crazy cyclist like me, which you probably are if you're watching these. Yeah, so any kind of dream builds, but yeah, the Drop Cycling and G Milner is really, really good. I think it's Milner. Don't quote me on that. I've just thought of that one as I was talking about it. Just double check that, but you'll see it there. There's heaps of videos. Other ones I like. GCN is good because it gives you a wide variety of topics. It's and being the size they are, they get a lot of the new tech, the new things before a lot of other people. So you have to know GCN if you know anything to do with videos on cycling. So they're really worth keeping an eye on, just for the latest and greatest gadgets that are coming out. They do a lot of fun videos on competing against each other or different spots around the world where they're going to do climbs and everything. So it's interesting. Get a lot out of it. So it's worth watching. Another one I really like, I just think he's great, is the Chris Pritchard show. He he's so funny. Like his sense of humour and mine are so close that we could be related. So if you watch any of his videos, that's pretty much what I'm like as a person, I think. But yeah, when I get a GoPro and that, I'll start doing some other videos. Probably I'm not around as much cycling as where he is, but certainly try to do some more entertaining stuff for everyone to watch, that's for sure. But yeah, he's really funny and worth watching. Ed Laverick is another good one. Just I think the UK. Didn't really do my homework on these, but these are just ones that I see the names and watch the videos. He's does a lot of hill climb stuff now, and just a little lightweight fella, but pumps out some great watts. And I think he used to be pro for a little bit, and then has gone off doing his own thing and working on building up his channel. But he does lots. He's got something coming up in the next few weeks. I think it's the British Hill Climb Championships or something like that. But he's definitely one worth checking out. Ed Laverick. And of course you've got the people that do the product reviews. So GP Llama, Shane Miller, DC Rainmaker. They're really good. They're probably the best two, along with GCN. Seem to get their hands on all the products well before anyone else. They do, Shane Miller and DC Rainmaker really do good videos, because they'll give you a lot of details that some other people might not, like go in and do a lot of testing and comparing. It's really, like I almost would say I feel comfortable buying a product after watching their reviews, because it would pretty much answer every question that I had, and some that I wasn't expecting. I feel comfortable knowing what I was getting after watching their reviews. So that's saying something. If you can't get into a shop and you want to order something online, have a look at their reviews on it, and I think you could feel pretty safe getting something after watching them. So they're really, really good. Lots of detail. I know, I'm not sure about DC Rainmaker, but Shane Miller's been YouTubing for many, many years, and it's got heaps of followers, as does DC Rainmaker, but they're both great product reviews. Yeah, look, I suppose that'd be the main ones. There's not too many that I subscribe to a few, but there's not too many I put the notification bell on, just because when I go in, I have a look at what everyone's uploaded anyway. But yeah, look, there's certainly my favourites. Obviously, you just got any of the racing channels. But in all honesty, I find if you're after some really good video content to watch, like sometimes I'll put, especially if I'm not streaming, I'll usually just hook up my Zwift to maybe like a little iPad, and just on my screen here, I always have some bike videos playing. Sometimes I do a movie, but I'm just settling in for a long zone 2 ride, I will just chuck something on. And I find setting out to YouTube for them videos, because every now and then you can find a good full length type version, but a lot of them are like little shortcuts, a lot shorter than what my ride is going to be anyway. And although it's easy enough to search for something else, I usually just like to have a video start, then I start riding and it plays through my whole ride. So I find the SBS on demand app is, or channel, really good for that, because it keeps a lot of the, they have like either daily updates, or like sometimes it's just like a, it might be a 5-minute update. Say this is through the Tour de France, for example. They'll have like short daily updates, or a 1 hour type thing, or the full version of the day, and they normally keep them, I think, for about 3 or 4 years. So don't know how long they've been doing that for, but you can go in, look for whatever sort of riding you want, put it on, and you can have like, so you can watch like 5 or 6 hours of the World Championships, just ticking away and zip to the bits you want to watch. Start it a couple of hours out if you just want to watch the last part of it while you do a ride. Pretty cool. So yeah, for biking videos, SBS on demand. And then just for other things, one other good YouTuber, John, I think it's Maloney, I don't have it in front of me, sorry. Another one doing some product reviews, bikes, frames, group sets and everything. He certainly gets hold of the latest gear as well. Chatted with him a little bit backwards and forwards, have some good comments on some of his channels, on his videos recently, and he always replies. That's pretty cool. Watch a video, give someone a bit of feedback about it, and they acknowledge it. It's really nice. So, but like, yeah, so John and Ed, I think they've both got like just over 4,000 or so subscribers, so they're really starting to build up their channel. The other ones I've talked about have a lot more, but they're starting to like, yeah, I suppose John does some more product reviews now, but still a really good rider from some of the stuff he's done. And Ed is sort of still in his peak, really still pushing himself as a rider. It's amazing to see such lightweight guys. Like, I only know a couple of guys. Some of them are really, well, like top Australian riders. But there's also a couple of, one in particular rider that's probably not really known around Australia at the moment, and I'm waiting to see his numbers, see how he's gone from the Zwift Academy. I know his numbers, and he's the one I've said a few times. I just can't believe that someone that size can put out those numbers. So in a way, I guess that's a little bit like, just when you look at, when someone's around 60 kilos, when someone's in the 50s or the 60s, so you're getting down, most tour riders or top riders are in their 60s. There'd be a few Tour de France riders in the 50s, and their watts per kilo would just be insane. I don't know what their outright watts are, but like, I think if you go to look at some of the Colombians like Quintana and that, I think they're in the 50s maybe. But for a lot of the other major riders, they're usually 60s. Some of the more big, powerful guys are in the 70s. You might find some every now and then in the 80s, but that'd be a big powerhouse rider. I think the 60s, Pogacar, Froome, they're all sort of mid-60s. And then, you know, you've got an FTP of over 400. That's an FTP. Like, and you're in the mid-60s. So just, I mean, if you need to, you can push above your FTP. That's what you can do for an hour. So what can you do for 10 minutes? Roaring up a hill. I just don't think a lot of people can appreciate how fast that is. But another good YouTuber, what makes me think of it, that does a lot of dissecting of the efforts is the Rouge. Been following him for a while too. Sorry, he's one of the main ones I should have said. He does, I think he was actually a lawyer from Sydney, Brisbane. And he's recently, in his videos, I remember watching a video where he said he was offline for a bit because he was moving to Europe to be on the same time zone sort of with all these races, and has bought some licenses to be able to actually put the videos on because obviously copyright issues. He does a lot of analysing of the races. It's pretty good because a lot of the times it has the numbers there, and simple Google search will tell you the rider's weight, but normally he's telling you what the watts per kilo were, and you know, the climb, how long it was, the gradient, what the rider had to put out. Really interesting stuff. So Rouge, definitely one worth following as well. Well, keep this warm up. I haven't had much of my coffee. So what kind of coffee ride is this? Alright. I'll bid you guys a farewell. I'll work out to make me sweat. And we'll do that. Not sure if I'll have to drop the intensity a bit. I think it's going to take me a few weeks to get close inside to the same power that I was doing on isometrics. So like, if you watch my video, if you haven't seen that, please watch it. Like, don't hear me saying that, oh yeah, you can just put out heaps more power. You can't at the start. I trained solid for 2.5 months on them and feel great, but at the start, when I first got them, the inflation was too much. I got used to them for a week and I seen it a bit better, but it was still too high for me to consider racing. It was a little bit, it was like 3%, 4% higher than the roundlings, and it was just too much. But then after using them for ages, I was back down basically the same, like sometimes less than 1%, sometimes exactly the same as round rings. And look, people might say, why the hell didn't you just stay on them then? And good point, but I did say I don't like the noise. There's nothing like around, especially once you accept that noise and you're on it all the time, especially inside, like I've been stuck most of this year. Putting on some round rigs, nice, fresh, clean, lube chain, just dead silence. It's unbelievable. So isometrics only if you are sustained effort. So the time trialists and triathletes, I couldn't recommend them enough. If I ever swapped over to doing that sort of stuff, all day long. But for anything else, I think the rounds are better, like just for the, if you're not on the rivets all the time pushing yourself, it's just nice to have a quiet bike, especially on small gears, not having any chain up. But I'll see. I might get back up to near the same watts. It might be just that adaptation going back. I think the recovery is far better on the isometrics, and it lets you train harder more often, which helps. So it's not instant power, but we'll see. I'll be doing a lot of outdoor riding shortly because I'm going to hopefully get back and visit some family. So I might not even take the trainer. I might be off Zwift for a little bit. But depending on when I can get back there, hopefully it's shortly. So, and I'll do some tests. I know the best I've ever done outdoors on these exact round rings. So if I can go back, like I said, just riding around the streets here, do some little stints up some streets. I had a quick look down, and I was certainly riding at the 370s and 380s, which is what I should be able to do for 20 minutes. Because my FTP on here is 350, and my outdoor watts are always a little bit higher. In the past, they've been at a minimum at least 10 watts higher outside. So if I can, I think the most, this is going back last year, the most I did outside on these round, 336. So my fitness is going way up because I did 326. If you watch my video, my last indoor FTP on these, which was done in early Feb, was 326. And in November outdoors last year, it was 336, so 10 watts. But then I put the isometrics on, went from 330 to 370, so I think I'm far stronger. So we'll see. We'll do some tests. Might take the rings with me, the isometrics, but I just want to do some quiet riding and just have a couple of months of, like, I'm going to do something shortly. I'll probably do some sweet spots in a minute, but just need a little bit of a break. I've been really pushing myself for 2.5 years. May 2019, I think I got my trainer. And I've just been working on threshold FTP since then. And even though I've had rest weeks, obviously, but it's just not the same as just rolling some Ks in and then just enjoying the scenery, which I'll be doing shortly. Alright, enough talking. We'll end it here, finish my cuppa, and we'll go and pick out something that'll make me hurt a little bit more, but not too much. Right, take it easy, catch up. Make sure you follow the YouTubers, I said. Worth a look, good stuff if you're not already following them.